So if you have any doubts or any questions at any point, feel free to stop. Yeah. So yeah, first of all, I'm really happy like people are maybe taking out time from their Sunday evening, that too when a very important, very famous IPL match is going on, to listen to what is GSOC. That's nice. That's like really good first step to getting into GSOC. So before I tell you about like what is GSOC, I hope you already know a little bit about it. But yeah, I'll still go ahead and give a small overview. I'm sharing my screen, just let me know if you can see. Is it visible? Sandhu, can you confirm?
1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, please. So, So yeah, I think like you might have visited the homepage of GSOC. I just want to put it in the chat. But other than that, they say that they're focused on getting more people into open source software, right? Open source software is any software like which is free for anyone to just take up, see the code. If you want to change the code and redistribute. For example, I think most of you use Windows as your operating system. Anyone uses Ubuntu or any other Linux distro, or all Windows users? Okay, no Ubuntu users here. Okay, so Windows is like a Microsoft proprietary software, right? So if you want to see how something runs in Windows, you can't do that. Like it's completely Windows, like Microsoft owned code, so you can't look at that. But if you want to, go for some other OS like open source operating system like Linux, so there you can actually go to a website like GitHub or GitLab. There you just get to see the entire code. Like you can just change anything. If you think that this is not nice, you can change and make your own version and call it maybe like Sagar OS. You can do that. So it's that easy to like just do anything you want with open source code. So coming to GSOC, yeah, it's a program with very good incentive, both from like monetary point of view, the exposure to exposure to the open source world, and coming to the experience to exposure to development world. So I'll just give a brief about the whole programs. Yeah, I think the website does it very well. Apply, then code, share the code. That's it. Pretty simple. So yeah, like there are multiple steps, and the website handles it very well. Like, you can just go through and you'll get to know when what needs to be done. If you are willing to apply for GSOC, I think this year it's closed, but next year when you all will be in your second year, second year, you can start off with like applying for the entire procedure. So yeah. Coming to the incentives itself, I told that there is a lot of more, but I guess I didn't mention what and all. So currently, like it's total of 3 months of work, 2 months of coding, and 1 month of bonding with the organization. Then, yeah, for those 2 months, you'll get a total of $1,500 US. So that's a good enough incentive if you are looking for some nice internship. And also very important is this is not internship with company sort of thing. So like can you help me out? Like in your college, do you have the internship drive? Yes, Shashank. Will you be offered like internships at the end of third year? How is this? Like will you be doing internships after second year? Sagar or anyone? Sagar?
Yes, Rahul. Yeah, you're audible, Rahul.
Yeah, I was just asking about like internships. Like, so I think in college you'll be taking internships after second and third year. Like,
Yeah,
which one is compulsory?
in our college, it is like in the 8th semester. in the
8th
fourth.
semester. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, GSOC usually you can do it any summer. Like first year summer, I think this 2021 GSOC is already closed applications, but 2022 is something you all can like definitely apply for. And 2023 also, like after your third year, you can apply for GSOC. So a lot of open opportunities, like you can go for it and get a lot of exposure over this summer. Then coming to Ethical, if you have any doubts, feel free to like, stop me if you're not clear about what are organizations. I'm using that word. Organizations are basically, just some code software. Like, for example, Linux is an organization. If you go for maybe let's Apache, I think you might have heard Apache. Like, there is a software like set of software tools. So Apache is a huge organization. I'll get my organization and what I did as part of GSOC soon. But before that, yeah, these are a few points I wanted to tell you all. So coming to GSOC and open source contributions, I mean, this is just my GitHub page. So I strongly suggest you start using GitHub in some or the other way. You can just make an account, then keep all your repositories. Your repositories are basically any project. If you're doing any code related project, coding project, you can simply just put it over there in GitHub and anyone can freely come over there, see your software. Or if you want to share with your professors only, it's very easy. You have one link and you can share it off. So especially, I mean, one very common thing is like, at least in college, like there were a few projects which we used to see from our seniors, see how they did. Maybe like based on that, we can do our projects. That's something that happens. So yeah, you can just take a look at like the organizations. See, for my GSOC especially, I had worked on this particular org called OSM Search, which I'm part of. Right? I'll get into the code I've written and my experience. So yeah, I'd strongly suggest you start using Git because Git is very useful. Both it will help you like usually if you're aiming for any coding related companies, that also could be very helpful. Git usually is a very good tool to have in your hand. Then so yeah, that's about GitHub. Then okay, come to the GSOC itself, like what I had done. My project, this is the documentation, but yeah, like my project was providing search suggestions to something called Nominator. Yeah, search suggestions for OSM.org. You can find like all these links which I'm showing are like open, like you can just, hey, yeah, if you have any questions, just put up on the chat or unmute. Just put up all the links, even proposal is open to anyone who wants to read it. Then this is just the repository. I'll go one by one. So, anyway, like when you want to do this, first thing you need to do is prepare a proposal. Like you make a environment of what you're going to do, what you want to do in this summer, like how do you want to solve that problem. I mean, all this might sound very like complicated and all. Even my first year, like second year, I joined like few meets in our college when people who did GSOC in the past talked about all this. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. This is not my thing. But to be honest, once you start, it's very simple steps. Like first, you ask them, "Hey, I want to know more about this problem." They'll tell you a few things. Based on that, you search on the internet, you get few more things. You keep on increasing your knowledge. Whatever you know from past, you'll use. Like, and you build a very nice product. Like at the beginning, it was like just my information. From there, I just kept on adding. So it's very nice. Like I don't know the thing into like what needs to be. How do I want to do it? In how I just made some sections, some which search engine to use, which database to use, like searching suggestions. How do I provide these? I just learned a lot of things. Added some fancy diagrams here and there, and yeah, that's like how you make proposal. Basically, how you are going to do. If there is a particular date before the GSOC starts, when you provide this to the organization, you give the document, they'll tell some suggestions. They'll be like, hey, change this. Maybe tell us more about this. You do all those changes, and proposal will be ready for evaluation. So yeah, one very important thing is the timeline. So, like so there's a morning phase where you're not supposed to code in GSOC, where you're just supposed to like get understand more about their community. People usually open source is a very nice community actually. Like, how do I say this? Like, yeah, in my organization, I work for OpenStreetMap's Nominato. So OpenStreetMap is a very nice. I'll get to this. But yeah, like there are a lot of people who freely like contribute to open source organization. They are just nice friends kind of people. If you have any doubt, mail them and they'll reply to you. And that's how things keep going. So yeah, that's about what are organizations, what are communities. So it's really good to like be part of such communities and provide code for like everybody. So coming to my organization, so OpenStreetMap is the name of the organization. So as the name suggests, it's open source like street map. So it is similar to Google Maps, but everything you see has been written for free. Like Google Maps, everything is owned by Google. One day Google can be like, no, I don't want to provide you Google Maps, I'll take it down. Then Google Maps is no longer there. But OpenStreetMap data, like if you want, you can add. I mean, even in Google, you can add any place you want, but that will be verified by Google and then given. But here it's something like you add it, it will be added to the word database. Now, if you go to IR College itself, I think most of you have been there. So yeah, you can I can't figure out like what place are, but yeah, but if you want, you can add more places. Like if you know that there are some places missing here, you can simply open. You can click on edit, make an account, and add the places which you think are missing. You can add your own room also, or your own department building. Yeah, I think chemical engineering and biotechnology have added their building already. So yeah. Okay, is it fine to use others' repositories in your GSOC project? So, okay, let's say it's dependent. I mean, Shashank, do you want to tell more about your question? I didn't really get it. Like, do you mean like using help of some software? Or?
No, like in the OpenStreetMap, let's say that I take your suggestions part of your code and use it in some other project. Is it fine? Like my project doesn't revolve around your code, but your code is a part of my project.
Yeah, as long as you like, there is how do so this is okay. When you are giving proposal, right? You tell the maintainers everything. Like, hey, I want to do this. I want to use this. I want to do this. Like, if you tell them, ki, hey, there is this GSOC project by Rahul like few years ago. I want to use this and build something else on top of that. They'll be like, okay, sure. If they accept your proposal, then you are free to go about doing that. Yeah, there will be like no problem with that. As long as you're disclosing what you're using. Anyway, like right, they'll actually review everything. Actually, I'll show you my entire like project files. This is everything I've written and submitted like for the G project. So yeah, things. Maybe I use something like Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is also an open source tool. I've used this tool and I've given steps of how to install that. Oh yeah, like in the same way you build on top of the project, you can also explain how to use that and you can do that. So it's all like free use. I hope that answers.
Yeah.
So yeah, like OpenStreetMap is one thing, and yeah. Oh, sorry, I haven't explained what my project is. I'm just told you. So organization is OpenStreetMap. As you can see, there are two things: results from OpenStreetMap Nominatom, results from GeoNames. So Nominatom is where I actually work on. So Nominatom is one of the search engines which powers this. Like if I search Tirupati Institute of Technology, Nominatom gave 3 particular results. So if you go to Nominatom page, this is a Nominatom page. So my project was like giving suggestions. It's not active yet. Just it's merged with the OSM search wala, repository, but it hasn't gone live. They would still want to make it perfect before they launch the software. So it's not yet to be used. So if you want to search the same thing, like, uh, or just very simple search like Bangalore. Yeah, Bangalore pizza is. It's just anything you search will come up. But my project was adding the suggestions. Actually, there was when I was actually doing GSOC, my mentors gave me access to a server actually, like it's where I actually hosted the whole thing, everything I did. This it's not live right now; it's being taken down. But when it was active, when I was actually doing GSOC, this actually will get to a page where you can access the search suggestions that I made. So yeah, like that is my experience. Like I got to learn a lot. Like personally, like, first as like when I started this proposal, it's like I had no idea about how things will work. But proposal phase helped me a lot in learning, about a lot of things like Elasticsearch and few other software. Then yeah, I'm just helped out like how the architecture should be. Wait, I'll show you the diagram. Yeah, as you can see, this is a very simple thing. Like it looks complicated, but this so right side part is what is already there, and left side part is what I added. So in left side part also, like mentors helped me by telling that this is the standard way of doing it. This is how you should build APIs. So yeah, you will get to learn this. Like I now know this particular method. Like if anyone asks me how to do this same thing there, I'll know like what is a very standard way to do it. So all this exposure will get by this. Okay. Now, yeah, that's about my project, how it went live. You can look at the entire documentation. Like during this talk, I had to make documentation for everything I did. Starting with like just the introductory like blog just to introduce to the community. Then yeah, community bonding about like everything I did for server setup. I personally don't like writing like long reports for a lot of things. But to be honest, like writing all this, I enjoyed writing this because everything I wrote here came from my own work. Like I was just curious about something, I did that, and I just wrote down what I did. Like it's over like 3 months of work, so that's why it's this long. But I mean, it's also filled with a lot of photos. So, but yeah, like you'll get to do a lot of things that you thought were probably not possible by you just by taking up this thing. So I strongly say like even though if you're scared, you feel like it might not be a thing or too much effort, just take the steps. Like first step is just starting with looking for organizations, like which organization you think is good for you. Uh, you can go for the main website, go for organizations page, and just keep going through. Like when you're free, anytime, just go through one by one. There are nice technology stacks also involved. Like if you think if you are someone who knows Python very well, you can just search for all Python-based things and feel like, hey, this graphics is something. If you're into graphics, you can go for organizations like this and just, go for learn more. Then go for their ideas list. There are usually like some nice mailing lists where you can just join, talk to the people, contact email. Like you can just contact them and ask, hey, I want to do this. How can I get started? Yeah, they have this. Oh, they have a nice document as well. Here they've given all ideas like, which you can take up. So every organization that you can see will have some or other type of help for you, so that you can help them. Like it's a really good community. Like they'll really be approachable, help. Okay. What else was I got to cover? Coming to I think I think I briefly talked about my project. So, do you want me to get into like specifics of my project, what exactly it does, the stack and all, or do you want me to go more about like the, uh, GSOC itself, the Sagar and others? Feel free to tell. I'm fine with anything. Oh, I think there's a question here. What prerequisite knowledge did you start off with? How did you like, did you know how to use APIs? That's a really good question, actually. So I'll tell you what my experience was. I learned a little bit of PHP, not some crazy one. Just I built a small course project on PHP. We all know how much like we do like course projects, but yeah, like course project, I learned like a little bit like, hey, this is how things have been built, very basic stuff. I didn't go into deep depth of the soft language, but yeah, I learned a little bit of PHP. Then when I was looking for organizations, I searched, hey, okay, let's look for PHP-based organizations. No, I don't think I searched like this. But yeah, like there are separate websites actually where you can find tech stack-based this thing, applications. So I found out that OpenStreetMap actually has, okay, they have removed it now this year because they are no longer staying with PHP actually. Even my project entirely is Python. But yeah, so that's how I started with OpenStreetMap. Then I looked at one of the projects. This was 2021, I think 2020. Yeah, I went through the entire list which is given as like, where is this? Where is this? This one. So this particular project was like Java SQL. So yeah, I knew Java SQL a little bit. Python also. When I talked, they were like, "Yeah, do you know Python?" I was like, "I know Python." Then APIs. Coming to APIs, I didn't use APIs before this a lot, but I just read up a little bit. Like, mentors helped me with some nice resources. Like, hey, there is some API which actually helps you a lot more. As I wrote this class which I got from my senior, so I thought I'll use that. But they said there is some else better. So I just talked to my mentors, and they help me. I suggest people who are actually actively uh, take care of this OSM side. If you see OSM sides, it doesn't show. But yeah, my mentors were these two, Sarah Hoffman and like this is Mark Tobias, something is reasoning. But yeah, these two are mentors, the top contributors of Normal Atom. They do something other than every day. They constantly contribute to this. So yeah, they helped me out like in learning a lot of things. And starting, I had very basic like PHP knowledge, in which I solved a few issues. Normal Atom issues. Okay, it'll be very hard to find this. So but yeah, like I closed a few issues. Like I was like, I took a few issues and solved them. That's how like I got this thing. Sure, but yeah. So you just have some knowledge which you already have. To be honest, like you need to learn a few things, but you learn while you sometimes learn as things are going on, like things going on. As you write proposal, as you're doing code, you'll keep on learning. It's a very very good learning opportunity. Don't think that there is like some crazy things you already need to know to get this. All you need to know is how to answer questions correctly. I mean, for me, I had a proposal. That's all. Like all I know is what needs to be done. I framed it into very good question. I answered all questions in my proposal. So yeah, if you do that, you'll have a very good proposal. You'll get into this. Okay, do the project. So okay, that's about this. So coming to the time commitment thing, when I did GSOC, I was simultaneously doing like, Microsoft internship as well. I got it from campus. So yeah, it was pretty hectic. But yeah, like if you do your work on time, like it needs like a proper discipline. Like you should get the week's work done before the week. There are weekly meets for us. There will be like there will be two evaluations if you are applying next year. One in the middle of the GSOC and one at the end. Like if you have to set your own deadlines, you have to tell, hey, by this time I'll just give this much code of this much. I'll do these things. You have to do them. You do them, and the mentors mark you as passed. You don't do them, like it depends. Like if you are trying and some complication comes, they'll still part. Like the thing is like that's what, right? Like you might not be sure if it'll complete or what. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah,
Rahul,
it's all like really good. Yeah.
please share your
Yes.
internship experience at Microsoft and like your interview experience
Yeah.
also.
Sure. Sure. I'll get to interview and internship experience. So Microsoft, I got on campus. On campus, there were first it started with a written test. It was a, I mean, written test as in like there is a coding test properly like on campus itself. I mean, this is 2 years back, so we were still in college. So yeah, there is a test for all the third years at that time. Yeah, third years. We just started third year. It was in July. We had a test. There are a lot of people who were shortlisted from the test. After that, I personally had like three rounds of interviews, two technical and one HR interview. Technical interview, they asked like the questions are mainly based on DSA only. So for first years, like we're aiming for companies, I strongly suggest like look out for your DSA, like have strong DSA basics, solve a lot of questions, like keep solving whenever you're free, take up challenges, and yeah, like I think one good way to do is like by looking at your peers, all of you, you could, if you're part of, are you all part of some club in, in the
Yeah,
college, like yeah, so
I think most of us are part of the Geeks for Geeks club in the meeting.
So yeah, Geeks for Geeks is really good place. Like that's one of the places where I actually Geeks. There's this practice for Geeks, where like I took up one course, and I mean it is a free to enroll course where you can solve topic by topic any like questions based on companies. Also, it will give like this question was asked these many times for this company. Like you can just take up the questions that are very important, try to solve them. If you're in clubs, that's really good, right? Like you can organize something like maybe contest within yourself. That's how kind of we do it. I'm part of one club in NITK where we do like not weekly, but maybe 2 weeks once or something. There is a challenge that we keep for our juniors. After this challenge, we sit together and meet and like, we solve the questions together. So yeah, it's a really nice way. I think you can start off with those initiatives. If you're already doing that, that's also really great. So yeah, solving together like questions is very important for that. That's about like getting into Microsoft. Then summer project, I was in SharePoint mobile team. I'm not sure if any of you heard about SharePoint. So Microsoft, everybody heard, but SharePoint is something. Even when I got into SharePoint, I was like, wait, I never heard of these names before. I thought I'll get into some cool, like Xbox team or some other team. But SharePoint is also like an amazing team. Uh, like I think people might have heard of Outlook and like you know OneDrive.
Yeah,
OneDrive,
it's
if
like
you've heard of it.
it's a product of Microsoft, I guess. It's like Google Drive, right?
Yeah. So exactly, it's like parallel of Google, Google Drive. So SharePoint is a sister product of OneDrive. So OneDrive is like Google, where you keep all your personal files. But SharePoint is for one organization. So do you have a account from your college? Did you get any email ID from a college?
Not yet. Like
Okay.
I don't know about Sagar, but us first years haven't got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get it
So
within like two
if
months, I guess.
so your classes go on Teams or Google Meets? Uh,
We had our class going on Cisco WebEx.
okay, WebEx.
Yeah, I've used
WebEx.
Teams personally. I've used Teams, Microsoft Teams. It's cool.
So yeah, right. I keep saying that, but people are like they're biased because you are in Microsoft. But yeah, so SharePoint is where you just share files with your organization people. Like if you get account, if your college takes a subscription from the entire like Microsoft ecosystem, you can just share files with your friends. You can share like college friends, anyone, but SharePoint. Like Actually, I can show my personal thing, but I mean, like it's our policy. I'm not sure I can be showing that. But yeah, then that's the team I was working on. I worked on the iOS division of that. I never worked on iOS before. So I asked them, like, I have no clue about iOS. Why did you add me to this team? They're like, hey, it's like every intern project is a learning project itself. So they gave me a few things that taught, like, just go through them. I went to them, like, at the end, my project was some automation. I can't really get into the proper details because of the NDA thing. So, but yeah, it is. I got to talk with a lot of teams offshore as well. Like there are teams in UK. So I had to sit on meets at 11 p.m. in the night. Like it was a crazy schedule. It was some really good experience talking with teams offshore, like talking. So these internships in any company, like usually interns are very well valued. So if you get an internship in any company, you'll be like facing a lot of such nice things. Like you get to learn a lot of things from the seniors you have in your own team. There'll be a lot of recurring meets like industry leaders. I personally got to interact with my finance manager, who's like crazy experienced. So that's really cool. So, like, those kind of experiences you get. Make sure you give your 100% like while going for any internship season or any opportunity. If you want to apply offline outside also, I think every company has one or the other careers portal. Like you can just go for so yeah, careers Microsoft. If you go like there is a page for that careers. Go for Intuit, go for Google, go for any company. Yeah, just see there are open places everywhere. You can just apply over there. I mean, it's little hard off campus, but you can still like maybe get a call for an interview from anywhere. Make sure your resume is with that. So yeah, uh, that's about my internship experience with Microsoft. Um, and yeah, I did these two together, so it was a very painful thing. Like, I mean, I used to do full of Microsoft work, weekend of GSOC work. It's just, I mean, last summer lockdown, so
Both together.
no college work. Like, really, so
Nice.
yeah, both together is like 2 months of like, oof. Like I mean, I still enjoyed them. I still enjoy them. I miss those 2 months where I was like full on coding. These days, I'm just like chilling out because my engineering is almost done. So yeah,
Yeah, you guys
like
can.
I guess like everybody has experienced something. Yeah,
Yeah, you guys can ask your
so,
questions. Like
go on then.
Rahul is very experienced. He has
Yeah,
done
yeah.
two internships at a time.
Yeah.
It's very nice, Rahul. Like
Competitive programming. Yeah.
it's very nice, Rahul. Like there is like very few people like you who've done two internships at a time. That too, both are like very prestigious ones.
Thank you so much, man. But like, yeah, I feel like a lot of credit was like to my seniors who kind of pushed like, hey, try out the G-Shock thing as well. Like yeah, I'm seeing you do the same for your juniors, so it's really good. Like it just happened. That's great. So I think there are a few questions. How much importance do you give to competitive programming? So me personally, I did a little bit less than my other friends in college, but I think I got a little bit lucky with Microsoft. Like like people
GSOC.
had like what is that more difficult questions come in interviews and stuff, but like we can't say anything about that. But yeah, uh, I'd say like summer. What is that? So competitive programming, I got introduced in the first year of college, where there were like few clubs. There is a particular club called Web Club, which is like they just took some sessions on, hey, this is CP, these are. I took continuous sessions like uh, to introduce us to like different topics of competitive programming. I didn't like do crazy amount in first year. I was just attending the sessions and looking at the problems they're doing. If they ask for, like, they used to ask a question and ask for approaches. Which, what do you think? I used to give my own approach. Like, so yeah, like that's how I started. But second year, when I joined the club in my college, uh, like we did a CP here and there together. Then after second year, I was doing a research internship in like a triple IT Bangalore. Uh, that time, that's what like I was a little bit stuck with that, so I didn't spend a lot of time on computer. Like, you should definitely give like the second year summer, or maybe even during second year, like focus a lot of CP is important thing. How can you start over cognitive strengthen your BSF? If you have any DSA, do well in that course in college. Then outside of college, there are a lot of very good websites. Lead Code is one. Then you know, there's this thing a lot of people do it. Interview Bit. Yeah. So Interview Bit is a very good place. I'll just send the link. Yeah, as I mentioned, right? Geeks for Geeks, Practice.Geeks for Geeks has a lot of topic-wise questions. Here also, if you sign up, you'll have like topic-wise questions. So maybe if you go for very simple arrays, linked lists, strings, there are questions. Then you go for a little bit more stacks, queues, there are questions. Then if you go for graphs, trees, there are questions. There are a very good set of questions over there. You keep solving topic by topic. You take them up, like you solve them. You will be very good. You can strengthen your basics very well.
You can also do
So
from
yeah,
lead code, I
like
guess.
if you want to read, lead is CP. So yeah, these are few. CP is like I think. I mean, a lot of people think, okay, why are companies going for CP as a metric for like why is this person good over there? But like you actually go to the company and don't do anything related to the CP. But like what else do the companies have? I mean, there are people who are really good, but who don't know some tech stack yet. So you can't really judge them by some projects that they have done. So CP is kind of a standardized way. So yeah, I think we should focus on that, and especially like keep building their resume. Do some projects. Then what is that? Like any other thing that you can think of, like being part of clubs, some other technical competitions. Hackathons are something really, really, good for like people who want to get into coding. If you're in first, I think right now, like since it's online, like a lot of hackathons are just free to attend. You go to places like Devfolio, or maybe if you go for like what is another one? But DevPost, yeah, DevPost. What I'm saying about hackathons is because I've seen one of them up close, like as a lead organizer for hackers in our college. So what we did is like we allowed anyone to participate. I'll apply for a uh, hackathon, and then build anything in the span of 24 hours. Like any hackathon is usually like that only. You just go there, take up any idea that you want, put that up, submit it. I mean, you could like pitch it very well and actually get a prize in it, but at the end of the day, you'll still have a project that you have done in 24 hours. It's a nice way of coding, bonding, as well as like building stuff. So that's that. That's that. I'd say like if you're doing as a future, like I think hackathons are one good place. Why I'm saying is like in my first year, no one told me about hackathons. My first hackathon was in Mysore. Like I went to hack on board in Mysore. Yeah, that was my first time like coding with people like full night, like we were drinking coke, we were eating pizza and not pizza, eating pizza. But yeah, like pizza was given at the end. But you get the idea, right? Like people just sitting together, like planning. There'll be some fights going on. There's like some crazy ideas coming out. It's some really good you want to be. So yeah. Oh, one second. That's hackathon for me. So you can see a lot of hackathons been going on. See, you just apply for any of them. Yeah, on those days, if you have to go sit with your friends, 2, 3 of them, and solve something. Do something. Yeah, any other queries at this moment about CP, about any companies that you're thinking of, like anything, just let me know.
Uh, yeah, you can ask your questions also. You can like turn on your mic and ask.
Abhishek, what is this like the profile picture that you have? Where is it? Okay.
Good. Uh, which tech
Which tech
stack
stack
do
do
you
you use?
use?
So for me, I mean, I use Python. Like Python is my language. Uh, oh yeah, CGP. I'll get to CGP in a minute. Uh, so tech stack I use. And one thing I prefer Python. Here in my Microsoft internship, I was given my manager asked, "Hey, like this is something you have to build." So something like that was already done by some other team, but they did it in yeah, sorry, .NET application from C. I'm not sure if you've heard of the language C Sharp. It's Microsoft. They are the language. So yeah, as I worked with C Sharp in the past for Unity. Unity is just for building games. If you want to try that out. So yeah, it's like if I am given, you cannot try Python because everything I needed. Actually, in my Microsoft internship, I worked a lot with APIs. There are a lot of internal APIs that I had to call. But yeah, like so, I have a Python application at the end of the day. I asked them, I built Python only. They allowed me to study. So kind of Python is my like Django is something a lot of people in my college use, like my friends and all. But I don't really know Django, to be honest. I just like native thing and love Python, and JavaScript is something I'm into. Those. Then, as for the cutting that, yes. So CGPA, I don't have a good my GPA is not that good. Uh, if you want the number, it's 8 point, I think 8.39 as of now. My last semester exams are done, so I'll be getting one more, maybe up or down, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's 8.39. I say it's decent GPA in my college, but like a lot of people, have crazy GPAs like 9.9 plus sort of people. So yeah, uh, for internship, I don't think GPA mattered at all. Like people weren't, one thing is the cutoff. Like companies had cutoff of 7.5 or something in college. I'm not sure about how the cutoffs will be for other colleges, but I'd say like keep it above, like find out from your seniors, just make sure it's do the courses which you like very well. Like for me, it's like that. Like if I course I do well, if I don't like my GPA is also higher. So, but yeah, if you're someone who is aiming for higher studies, make sure your GPA is like skyrocketing high. Just keep it that. So for me, at least for internship, I don't think the only thing that mattered was it crossed the cutoff. After that, yeah, I don't think it mattered. So for the ISSR, actually I shared that as well. So that's something I had done in the second year. I'd say just keep an eye on this page. This year's thing is done, I guess. But like this is the internship. Like you can just apply summer research fellowship program. Students apply for that program, then like a lot of people get research internships under a lot of professors. Well, engineering, including computer science. Yeah, I think 27. Sure, but yeah, you get the idea, right? Like you apply on this portal, you get an internship under a professor. People say that this depends a lot on the GPA, but when I got the internship, I had some 8.3, 8.7 something. I don't know, like so. Like people say the GPA matters here, there. Just don't let that affect you. If you have some like don't worry, don't think about if you'll get something for applying. While applying GSOC, don't think will I get GSOC. I mean, is this wasted effort? No, nothing is wasted effort. Just apply. Like even for companies, they're like, hey, my like I don't have these many projects. Should I apply? I mean, who knows? Just apply and then we'll go. So yeah, just don't keep yourself away from like the opportunities that you have. So yeah, okay.
Any other
Just
questions,
few
guys?
things I wanted to complete. Anything else?
Be quick, like
Yeah.
cool, Rahul. I hope we're done.
Yeah, I think yeah. If you want to connect with me later, just ask
Yeah,
me questions. We are able to ask.
you can connect me with them on
I'll
LinkedIn.
put up the
Yeah,
yeah. Just feel free to ping me on LinkedIn. I guess if you have any queries, I'll be happy to help out. I'm free anyway these days. So yeah, thank you so much, Sagar, and all of you for
it was a pleasure. Thank you,
getting
Rahul.
me to come here. Just hey, thanks, man. Thanks.
You know,
Yeah, you can ask
Hey, thank you.
Shashank.
I really enjoy this interview.
That is
Yeah.
nice to hear.
Yeah,
Yes, Sagar.
Yeah, then any
thanks, man.
questions?
It is good interview.
Yeah, it's good. Everyone, like, stay safe. The pandemic is really going high, and yeah, take care.
Yeah, take care, everybody. So all the best. Bye.
It was great, Rahul. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's catch up, guys. Yeah. Okay, Rahul. We'll end the session. Thank you so much.
Hey, it's fine.